Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, I sure thank you so much for being here. My name is Gregory Mack, and this is a video vlog series that encompasses many aspects of life. It's not just about a motorcycle, it's not just about fixing things, it's just my personal observations about things that we go through in this world and life. Anyways, so I'm going to tell a little story here. I got this outer Fox. We would call this like a false fuel tank here. It's in such bad shape. Look at that. I mean, wow. That paint on that is just... I'm going to pressure wash this and try to clean this up as best I can. I'm going to sand it down and give it a quickie paint job. We're probably just going to do a rattle can on this. And I don't know what color I'm going to paint it, honestly. I don't know what color. Go ahead and maybe leave a comment in the section. What color should I paint this thing? One idea that I really have with this bike is I like adventure bikes. I like bikes that can go off-road. I do a little bit of that. And I would love for this bike to be able to spend a lot of time on dirt roads and in the back country and up in forested areas. And that's kind of a plan that I have for this bike, is to put some trail tires on it. Not going to modify it too much, but definitely take it off-road. Take it on gravel roads, dirt roads, roads with potholes, washboards. Doesn't really matter. And so I'm thinking the paint color, it was white. I think that's awfully bright. So I'm probably going to go with some kind of a outdoor neutral type of a color. Maybe like a desert tan. I don't know. That just came to mind. I don't know. Whatever I pick, I think just as long as it blends in with the background and it just looks not eye-catching, but just neutral and makes sense, that's what I'm going to do. But I wanted to tell you guys a story. And we may all find ourselves in these positions and points in our life where we're finding ourselves doing something, maybe a job you don't like, and that's what this story is leading to. Anyways, when I was a teenager, I used to go to a lot of temp services. I enjoyed that type of work. I liked trying different things out. Sometimes you would luck out and a job would last a while. You got to learn a lot of different things and you got to meet a lot of different people. And I really kind of liked that. And I did a lot of that when I was young because the variety of that was highly interesting to me. Well, I took this temp job in a factory. And I was placed in this dingy, dark, very corner of this factory, doing a task that was cleaning the glue out of the frames of cabinet frames, with a little X-Acto razor knife, just cleaning the glue out of the corners of these frames. And that was the entire job, all day long, 8 hours a day. Or more, whatever it was, I can't really remember. And it was so boring. It was the most boring, monotonous, that's all you did. And it was the type of job where you became just a clock watcher. And time just went by so slow, and you just were waiting for a break, and then the next half of the day, oh my gosh, it was hard. It was really... The job itself was physically easy, and it was very laid back. It wasn't a whole lot of supervision, but you did need to keep at it and keep going, and just was so monotonous. And I knew I wasn't going to do it for very long. It was just something to get me by. But there was a man there that worked there, and we're going to call him Bobby. And that wasn't his real name. I'm just saying that. He's probably dead now, so many years ago. And there's about him and 3 other people at this table. And Bobby always came in with a smile, big smile on his face, and he was always giggling and chuckling and laughing and telling little jokes, and he never stopped smiling. And he, even though as miserable as this job was, he did his task with just dignity and respect, and he had this outrageously positive characteristics about him, and it made everybody have a better day. You know, it made everybody that was working there just have a better day. And I wondered, how long would any of this go on? I saw Bobby down at the temp service one day, and he was leaving. And I heard him telling them, I gotta go, it's time for me to move on. And we were getting our check, and he saw me in there, and he shook my hand. He's all, I was like, you're not coming back on Monday, huh? And he's like, no, it's time for me to move on. And I said, man, oh man, what are we going to do without you? Like, his energy just really helped it. And I knew after he left that it'd be so hard to stay there and work there for any length of time. I knew it was a short-term thing anyway. And I figured he's leaving because he hates the job. And so I started pointing out all the bad things about the job, right? I said, gosh, it's just the most terrible thing, Bobby. And I'll never forget this, and this is the point I'm getting to. You know, I started saying negative things. I started saying bad things about the place, about the task, just this. I said, that, I have never done anything like this, and this sucks, was my attitude. My attitude was sour. My attitude was bad. And he hushed me up really kind of quick. He put his hand up and he says, and he hushed me, and he said, look. And he said these things. Let it get you where you need to be. Okay? And I looked at him, and I paused, and I wanted to say something else negative, like, I don't know how I can do this. And he said, look, just let it get you where you need to be, all right? See, Bobby had let it get him to where he needed to be. And he did it with a smile. And he did it while he made other people's experience there better. And when Bobby was ready to move on, he just moved on. He let that position and that task and that job get him where he needed to be. He had extra money in his pocket. I have no idea what he was doing, why he was there, what his life was. I don't really remember anything like that. It was a very long time ago. But he said those things to me. And I've applied those things in my life. I've applied a saying like that in my life many times. You know, if I found myself doing something at a certain point in time that I didn't necessarily like, and it's so funny, you know, when I think about that, it was 25, 30 years ago now, it seems like, and something like that. And so that's the moral of this video. Let it get you where you need to be. See? So keep your head up out there, guys. If you're doing something you just can't stand, be positive, be optimistic. The positivity and the optimism that Bobby showed and shared, it was what took him out of there. I don't know if he was always like that, but for some reason, maybe that position there, he knew that he wasn't going to leave if he was negative. He'd get worse. Everything would just get worse. So Bobby raised his frequency, and he took something that seemed so silly, so sour, and he took the ball and he ran with it. And his positivity took him away from that place. And I can guarantee you he went on to do something so much better. Just a little rambling, just a little thought I had when I was, I thought of my past as I was working on this thing. It's kind of silly, but maybe there's some value there for you guys. Well, hopefully the next time you see this, it will be different and it will look better. And we're going to let this get us where we need to be. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here, I appreciate you, and I'm grateful that you will stop by and watch any of my videos. And I hope something I said could resonate with you. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Stay optimistic. Stay positive. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon.